we're going to see some pretty dramatic scenes here in just a moment. So all the deck chairs have just slid over there because of the angle of the ship. And yeah, she is going to the bottom, folks. As you can see, this is it for the Oceanos. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are back in Vehicle Simulator, and in today's video we are checking out the MTS Oceanos. So yeah guys, let's get into the video. And here we have the MTS Oceanos, or the MV Oceanos, however you want to call it. So yeah, really cool. We have the model here, and it is probably one of the best publicly available models of the Oceanos that you can get today. Now, I should mention, this does have a few inaccuracies. You may notice them throughout the video. However, I am not detracting from the model whenever I point them out. I think this model looks great. I love this model. It's free. You can download it now in the link in the description. Please check it out. Please support the creator. Alex, the guy who makes these models, does a really great job. And yeah, he has limited information to Oceanos, and he's done a lot of great things with this model. So if there's any inaccuracies I point out, that's not me detracting from the model. That's just me trying to help out a little bit, trying to give him a little more information. But yeah, I think this model looks great, and I think you should download it right now. So yeah, it will be in the description. It is free, but the game does cost money. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hop on board. Starting on the bridge of the Oceanos, it is pretty good. There's only one thing that I do have to point out here. If we look over here, we have 2 telegraphs. There should only be one, the closest one here. So yeah, very interesting that he's put 2. I think it was like one of these little radar things, or I can't quite remember what the name of this is here, but yeah, there was one of these things sitting in place for that second telegraph there. But yeah, as you can see, he's done a really good job. Now, if you're wondering, there is no interior on this build, and that's probably because he has limited information. So yeah, we're not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna go ahead and get this thing started. So yeah, let's go ahead and get moving. So we're gonna go ahead and get our throttle up. We'll turn the engine on there. There we go, and slowly throttle up, and then we're going to go ahead and look at the stern deck while we start moving here. Alright, so here we are on the pool deck as the ship gets started up here. So as you can see, really, really nicely done. I think this area is perfect. There's only one thing that I do have to comment on though. So if we just go over to the bar area here, you can see that there is a tiled mural. Now, unfortunately, this was all covered over in Oceanos time, so yeah, they kind of put like some sun thing there. I'll have some video footage up on screen so you can see it. However, it is really, really hard to see, so I'm really not going to worry about it too much. This is just one interesting thing I found while researching the Oceanos. So yeah, really cool. He's got the spiral staircases and everything. He's got the pool right. It is really, really cool here, and he's even got all of the deck furniture as well, like deck chairs and tables. He's got the mast right. He's got everything right here. This is great. And he even has these little ashtrays here. So these are actually cool. They'd actually fill these with sand, and then you would open it up, and then you could put your cigarette out in there. And actually, these are made out of wood. So I don't know why they're white here, but there must be a photo where one of them is painted white. So yeah, really interesting. But making our way down, this is really cool as well. He has deck chairs on this deck, which are accurate, but you rarely ever see them on this back deck. So yeah, now I don't know why this is here. There might be an old photo with it or something, but yeah, as you can see, this is really, really nicely done. And of course, you have the cruise smoking area here as well. So yeah, really, really, really cool. All right, that is a good sign. We are now on the move. As you can see, those propellers are slowly churning up the water there. And yeah, here we go. All right, here's a really cool view. We have the Oceanos leaving port here. And yeah, this is just really cool. I really love this. This is great. So yeah, we're going to want to pilot the ship down the river here. So as you can see, we have all the factories on the left, and then we have some countryside on the right. We are in England because, sadly, I have not found a South Africa scenery yet, so yeah, this is gonna have to do. Now, here's something cool that he's done pretty accurately here. He's actually relabeled the telegraph in Greek, which is exactly what they did on the Oceanos and other Emperor Tiki ships at the time. So yeah, that's really cool that he's added that tiny detail there. I really appreciate that. Here's another moment where you can really appreciate the game. You got some scenery in the background along with some hills in the far distance. You have the Oceanos slowly but surely making its way down the river, and yeah, really, really cool. So, yeah, and if you're wondering, this is the River Clyde. This is where Cunard built most of their ships, or launched most of their ships. So, yeah, really, really cool. It's been a very long time since we've seen an Oceanos in Vehicle Simulator, and I think this is the greatest way you can add one into the game. With this level of detail here, it's just amazing, and I really do love it. It is now my favorite ship in Vehicle Simulator. I think most of you knew that by now because of how much I know about it. But yeah, I just love this ship, and I love the history behind it. So yeah, really, really cool. We are going to go ahead and turn the ship to the left a little bit. We want to get into the center of the channel. Don't go over too far to the right. So yeah, we want to just be able to make our way down safely. So I think that should be good. Let's go ahead and bring the wheel back. There we go. Excellent. So we are all good. Now, we don't seem to have any active controls other than the telegraphs and the wheel in the bridge. We don't have any gauges or anything like that, which is okay. So yeah, I do like that he has the radar here, but I wish he could have added like an actual radar like the one that we have here. That would be nice. Yeah, you can see we are on the River Clyde bank here. So yeah, really cool. Now, one last thing I do find missing from the vessel is right at the tip of the bow. I'll zoom in there, and then I will show some video footage of what that area looks like. There is a storage area that leads down through a small ladder, and that is missing from this model. So I don't know if he's going to go back and update this model. I doubt it, but if he does, that's just one of the details that I would say that could be added. But I think, again, I think that this model is great. I really like it. I just can't help myself to point out things that are missing because I know too much about this ship. I'm like obsessed with this thing. Now, here's a bit of a positive thing and a bit of a cool thing that I find in the model. You can stand in certain areas, and then you can actually remember seeing video footage from those areas. Like, I'll put up some video footage on screen, and it was taken from this area on the ship. So yeah, really, really cool. And I like the little details he's putting on here. If you go up to the back deck here, you can see he's got the flag or the TFC Tours banner there, as well as the MV Oceanos plastered on the back there. And it's accurate. It's correct. The scaling's correct for it, and it's nicely done. So yeah, I really like how he's putting all of these little details on here, including these little megaphones up here, the flag poles, the doors, the railings, the furniture even. He could have closed off the bar, because in video footage the bar was closed off. So, but he didn't. He added the bar. So that's great. So yeah, these little details really do make the model special. So I really do appreciate that, because all of the other models on Vehicle Simulator have unfortunately been a little bit different. They've lacked in detail, they've been inaccurate, but this is the most accurate model I have seen in a really long time. So yeah, I really appreciate that it's here, we're playing with it, and we'll be syncing it soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make our way out to the ocean, and then we're going to go ahead and put it up against some heavy waves. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. Well folks, what a contrast. Here we are heading out to the Atlantic Ocean, and as you can see, the MTS Oceanos is plowing through the waves here. Now in reality, the Oceanos was going through even worse waves, and it was in the Indian Ocean, but here we are in the Atlantic. So as you can see, the ship is sailing out to sea here, and it is getting pummeled by rain, wind, and waves. So yeah, and it is holding up well. So yeah, so as you can see, the ship is rolling and pitching pretty violently here whenever it goes into a trough like that. But yeah, luckily the waves are kind of pushing with us here, so it's not too bad. But as you can see, we are taking it pretty seriously here as the ship rolls like that. I bet a lot of things are falling over inside the ship. I know that in real life, glasses were sliding all around, and if you are a little more interested in Oceanos than just this video, I would recommend my documentary on the whole incident. It includes the investigation, along with survivor testimony, so the link will be in the top right corner. But right now, we're going to be sailing into even worse weather with 20-foot waves. So yeah, it's gonna get worse from here, of course. Now, the waves are so bad right now that the propeller is coming out of the water, as you can see right there. There it is. So yeah, the ship is getting pummeled by waves right now. Now, in real life, the waves were 30 feet high in Oceanos' case, but here we're at 15 feet. Now, you can imagine how worse 30 feet would be from here. And as you can see, we're rolling around to about 20 degrees or so on each side. So things are getting quite violent. Now, in real life, the grand piano actually slid off the main stage in the Odysseus Lounge and fell down onto the floor. So that's how violent these waves were getting in real life. And yeah, they were pummeling the pre-damaged section of the ship because the ship had actually run aground 2 weeks prior to the sinking, and the captain denied that it had happened, but it of course happened, and it actually damaged the hull. So when the waves started slamming against the side, they opened up that damaged section, and there you go. You've let tons of water in, and then it hits that sea chest, the sea chest blows in, and it's a domino effect from there. So yeah, as you can see, the ship is rolling around pretty violently at this stage, and yeah, it's only getting worse by the second here. So yeah. Now, here's a pretty dramatic view of how far the ship is listing over to the port and starboard side every time a wave comes around. You can see that's probably around 20 degrees with some of these larger waves here. So, yep, here comes one here. Yeah, okay, so that's not too bad. But as you can see, it rolls a little bit, and then watch as it drops down here. Yeah, that's like maybe 15 degrees there. That's quite a lot. If you were standing on the deck, you'd be thrown to one side. It's not like you can hold on when just standing in the middle of the deck. You'll be sliding all around. You'll have to actually hold on to something if you really want to stay stable here. One other thing that I do find interesting, he has the stern nameplate in English, but in real life, it was actually Greek. So yeah, I find that a little interesting why you put that way, but he does have it right. It is, in real life, Oceanos Piraeus. It's just in Greek and not English there. It is in English right over here on the bow, of course, but not in the stern. So here we go. Watch as the bow comes out of the water, and boom, right back down into the waves. So yeah, quite violent at this stage. Alright, now a problem has occurred on board. As you can see, the lifeboats are being lowered, and nobody is telling anybody what to do, but since this is at accelerated time, by this point everyone would know that something's wrong. The power's been out for a little bit, and the ship is beginning to lean a little bit as well. So yeah, things are not going well for the Oceanos. So you can see all of the lifeboats have already been lowered, and technically that would be true by this time. They launched pretty much most of all the boats by this point, and yeah, the ship was beginning to really lean over far by that point. Now, by this point, most of the passengers have gotten off in lifeboats, and a lot of them are on the deck as helicopters rescue them off. But he even has all the deck chairs on the deck slid over to one side with just a few up on the top deck as well, like they were in real life. But at this point, pretty much all the passengers would have gotten off because, as you can see, if we go right over to the bow, the actual bow of the ship is beginning to go under, and that only happened after everyone had left the ship and it had really begun to start going down. So we're going to see some pretty dramatic scenes here in just a moment. So all the deck chairs have just slid over there because of the angle of the ship, and yeah, it is getting pretty violent pretty quick, the angle I should say. But yeah, she is really beginning to go now. And wow, this actually reminds me of a picture I have of the ship going down like that. So yeah, really cool. But as you can see, she is really going down now. Her main forward sun deck is gone, her bridge is going, and yeah, she is going to the bottom, folks. As you can see, this is it for the Oceanos. We'll fly over here for a little bit here to watch the deck chair slide down, but there goes the funnel, and she is really plunging under now. The ventilation is underwater, so you can imagine all that water going down the ventilation into the engine room, which was a sealed compartment at the time. And yeah, that's a massive space going under, so she's definitely going to go down pretty quick, and we've already seen the video footage of it going down, and it goes down pretty quick. So yeah, you can see a lot of the deck chairs have gotten into the water there, along with some debris. There go the deck chairs, they're sliding down, and there goes the second row as well. And there's only one bit stuck onto the mast there. The useless mast, really. It only was there for show and also to put some decorative lights on. Don't really know if there's any other purpose, but there goes the last deck chairs there. And yeah, she is really going under fast. She is going vertical. Now the question is, does he have it hitting bottom? And by hitting bottom, it should stop when the water reaches the mast and then just kind of keel over to one side. But yeah, we'll find out what happens when it does that. Now we do have some lifeboats in the water. Now you may be wondering, is that accurate? Yes and no. There were 2 motorized lifeboats that were in the area that were then abandoned when the helicopters plucked people out of them. They then drifted to shore, and one was actually saved, but it wasn't a motor lifeboat. Another one was basically destroyed when it ran onto the rocks. It was somewhat recognizable and then was destroyed over time and looted. And it actually still sits there today, but it's really just nothing at this point. But as you can see, she doesn't seem to have hit the bottom, so he's going with a more of a unique style ending here, where it just sinks under vertical. So as you can see, she is slowly but surely going under there, and you got all that carnage around as well, so I really appreciate that he's added that stuff as well. But as you can see, there it goes, and the nameplate is the last thing above water along with that flagpole. And there it goes. So it's gone. So that has been Oceanos in Vehicle Simulator. Really, really cool. It is free to download in the description below. Check it out. It is awesome. And give the guy some support. I will have his YouTube also in the description as well. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment. And I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.